Hello everybody, and welcome to my very first Sims 4 challenge video. I've created this challenge. It's a little bit different than the random challenges that I have seen in the past. If someone else has actually come up with the same challenge, please let me know in the comments below, because I want to make sure that I give them proper credit. The reason that I created this challenge is if I don't randomize, I tend to create my families always the same. You know, they end up being identical down the road, if not initially, and thought, you know what, I need to mix this up a bit. I'm going to run through this particular introduction of the Let's Play with you and create our family and walk you through the challenge and how we get to the game start. The ultimate goal of this challenge is to create a random household and play them until their life is done. Once the original household members have gone to the great beyond, the challenge is over. It is not a legacy challenge, so if your sim meets another sim in game and they end up having a child, getting married, whatnot, that child does not count for the challenge. I'm going to list the rules of the challenge in the description below. The Sims that we create must be played according to their personality. There's 3 whims that pop up randomly for your Sim. 2 of them you can save, 1 changes. So as soon as the whims pop up that you can save, you need to do so until you get around to completing those. The one that pops up that cannot be saved, that changes, has to become the number 1 priority activity for your sim. So that's going to be a difficult part of the challenge for a lot of people, because I think people don't really tend to care about the whims as much. But that helps keep you on par with the personality of that sim. The careers that are chosen cannot be changed. The lot challenges that are created when we move the Sims into the world cannot be changed. You are allowed to have outside household relationships, and you are allowed to get married. But your Sim cannot leave the household. The household needs to stay on the property that you end up starting the challenge with. You need to play with aging on at normal speed. Any other settings for the game are your preference. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on this challenge. So we want to start a new game. If you are new to The Sims 4 and have never played it, you are in for an interesting look at this game. Sit back, relax, and let's do this. You do get the option to allow the game to assist you in creating your first sim, and we're going to say no thank you. The game is going to go ahead and put a random sim on the screen for you. Add a sim down here at the bottom. You want to click Add Sim. The first thing that we want to do is determine how many Sims are going to be in our household. Now, I don't use mods. If you do use mods, depending on how many Sims your mods allow, that's fine. You can roll up to that amount if you want to randomly determine that. The more Sims, the more difficult the challenge, I have to say. So that's up to you. I'm not going to be able to show you the random number that I roll on the screen. However, what I've done is I've downloaded an app for a random number generator, and I'm going to share the number with you that I get. And so here we go. The maximum number of Sims in my household is going to be 8. So I'm going to randomize 1 to 8, and I got 4. So this household is going to have 4 members. The next thing that we want to roll is the type of Sim that's going to be our first household member. Now there are 7 different types that we're going to use for this challenge. We are not going to mess around with genetics. we are not going to download from the gallery, so those first two are not on the table. There are 4 occult sims. There are 2 animals if you have the pet expansion, and there's a normal sim. So we're going to randomly generate for 1 to 7. And we get 4. Now that means we have an occult sim as our first family member. And they are a spellcaster. After we've determined the type of sim, we want to determine their gender. Being an adult, we have 3 different gender types. We can have male, female, and custom gender settings. If we roll for a custom gender, then we are going to roll for this section here. So we have to roll 1 to 3. 1. So our first sim is going to be a male. We're going to choose his name, and we're going to randomly hit the die roll 10 times. First name, 1. His first name's Marcus. Last name is Winters. So we have Marcus Winters. Now we have to choose his age. There are 6 different ages that you can play, all the way from toddler to elder. So we're going to enter 6. And I rolled a 2. Marcus is going to start out as a child. Now, when you get a toddler or a child or a teen on your random rolls, their name has to be associated. They need to be related to an adult, a young adult, an adult, or an elder. Now, we have 4 people in our family, so chances are good we're going to get one of those. Otherwise, household members are just that. They're not going to be sisters. They're not going to be husband and wife. Only if minors are involved. Next, we need to randomly do his looks. Now, this challenge is not going to involve the physical looks of the sims. We are going to randomly generate the sim. Whatever they come up with is their genetics. Once you get in game, you can change their hairstyle, you can change makeup, you cannot change genetics, you cannot change eyes, you cannot change skin tone, you cannot change hair color. So we're going to randomly roll 10 to get our sim. And this is Marcos. He's a dapper young fellow. The next thing that we need to move on to is aspirations. Children have 4 that you can choose from. We have creativity, mental, motor, and social. And I rolled a 1. Marcos is creative. So he's an artistic prodigy. For the purposes of the challenge, aspirations cannot be changed. Next, we want to choose his trait. All right, so Marcos is a cat lover. Now you can use your random number generator if you'd like instead of this, but this is just a lot quicker and you get the same result. And now next we have likes and dislikes. 1. You just want to hit the random once and it's going to give you the likes and dislikes. You can see that Marcos likes Japanese folk music and knitting. He dislikes the color purple. So that is basically all we need to do for Marcos. So now we're going to do our next sim. I got a number 2.
Hooray!
I have another occult sim. This sim is a vampire. We need to determine the gender. And we roll a 3. So now we go to the custom gender settings. Their physical frame, is it going to be masculine or feminine? All right, we're randomizing that. 1. It's going to be masculine. Clothing preference, same thing, feminine. And I rolled 3, which means they cannot get pregnant or get others pregnant. Do they go to the bathroom standing or sitting? At 2. Because we have the gender we do, we are only allowed to use adult, young adult, and elder. So we are going to randomize young adult, which works out perfect. Now we're going to randomize our sim. This is not who we're going to have. So we have to do this 10 times.
Yippee-to-me! Labisa Fruma! Buedalex, Auror, Bugor, Thoria Roba.
Shlo Vagila. Wanjini Makosa.
Bam! This is our sim. Now remember, we are a vampire. Now you can go in and change your vampire form into whatever you'd like for the challenge. We are not going to be doing clothing or physical attributes. We do need to choose their name though. So we're going to choose first and last name. We do have a child, but we are not going to, because this sim cannot have children, we are not going to use this as a child for them because that doesn't make any sense. So the last name is going to be generated. Here we go. We have Riley Liu. Adults have a lot more aspirations than children do. There's 14 in total. And in each of the categories, there's additional selections. So first we're going to randomly roll for the main aspiration of the sim, which is athletic. And there's 2 options. So we got to randomly roll those 2 options. Roll a 1, which is extreme sports enthusiast. Now the traits. Depending on what packs you have, you might have a different number of traits. I do not have every expansion pack and game pack and whatnot. Off camera, I roll individually just because I enjoy doing the random roll. But this one is the same thing. So I've got to hit this 10 times, and that's what we're going to go with. Okay. So, Riley is a cat lover. They're jealous, and they're a goofball. And we have likes and dislikes. Now this one we're only going to hit once, because every time you hit this, you've got to go through a rigmarole of, do you sure you want to delete, blah, blah, blah. So we're just going to hit this once. Riley's likes easy listening music, writing, and boho decor. They do not like pink. Our third sim. Here we go. 2. Got another vampire. Boy, this is going to be an interesting. In order for this challenge to be over with these guys, they're probably going to have to either turn not into vampires so they die, or die in some other form, be it outside in the sun, or, you know, hunger, some other way, because vampires' lifespans are quite long. And I rolled a 2. So we are female. Next is our age. And we roll a 5. So we have an adult.
Sepoma wabos.
Next, we want to roll the actual sim, so 10 times.
Frida Gatharma, Aphorisma,
One genie Lorray. Venusa Canad.
Lexa,
And a prep.
Kid up. Oh, the samba.
And here she
Lampima
is.
Ruskin.
She looks pretty
Batisa
cool.
Wallake.
So we're going to go ahead and pick her name. Carly. And we're going to make her last name Winters for now. Because we do need to connect Marcos with somebody. And depending on what we get for the last sim, we'll see which is most appropriate. Now next we have Aspiration. 6. Alright, she's a foodie and there's 2. She wants to be a master mixologist. We're going to roll the random traits 10 times. So, Carly is cheerful, she's good, and she's a foodie. So that hopefully will help her out, although a mixologist I don't think has a lot to do with cooking per se. Likes and dislikes, we're going to click this once. Carly likes electronica, photography, and mid-century decor. She dislikes orange. Make sure that he is attached to Carly as
Grandma
child.
Udi. Wait, yo, whoa.
5. We are going to have a dog in this household. All right. We are going to randomize by 10. And boom. But now we have to pick age. There's 3 ages for pets. And we have rolled a 2, which puts them at adult. And we have 2 genders for pets. And we rolled a 2, which makes this pet a female. Oh, what a pretty dog. So that means that Marcos definitely has to be related to Carly. So we're going to make this dog's last name Winters as well. But we're going to randomize the first name. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pixel. We need to pick her traits. We're going to hit this 10 times. And we come up with loyal, jumpy, and aggressive. Interesting. Very interesting. We hit play,
Yibs, Bula.
and this is our family. Here we go. When you start a new family in Sims 4, you have to select what season you want to start playing in if you have that expansion. So we randomize that and we come up with 1. We're going to start in the spring. However many worlds you have, count those up and you are going to randomly select which world they're going to start in. Our family's going to go to 3, which is Newcrest. Now, Newcrest is a new developing area. There's no other homes, parks, anything in there, which is fine. If you're not familiar with Sims 4, your Sims travel to different areas or quote-unquote worlds or neighborhoods or whatnot. They have access to every single place. The next thing we need to choose is whether they're going to be in a lot or a house. And we are going to be in a house. Now this is important because if lot had come up, you would need to purchase a blank lot and build from there. What we need to do is initially they start out with 26,000. So since we need to move into a house and this neighborhood doesn't have a house, then you can go on to the gallery. This is what I have to use initially for this family. Although this one I'm pretty sure is more. Oh, that's only 20,000. So this one is a 2-bedroom, 3-bath. This would be perfect. So what size is this? 20 by, okay, this is on a very small lot. 20 by 15. Which is one of these little ones over here. So let's just pick this one, Comfy Cubby. We're going to move our Sims onto this lot, and then we're going to place the home onto it. Alright, so this is our lot. We're going to pause it. We're going to download this British Starter Home. Furnish. And it's going to tell you that the lot was created using the Move Objects cheat. And there it is. Now, this is a beautiful home. Now they're down to 3,559 simoleons. You cannot use money cheats for this challenge. This one is from Devin Bumpkin. He's one of my favorite builders. His attention to detail is phenomenal. Let's take a look at the home. Now we are going to have to go in and make a few changes, but we've got a nice upstairs room there. And it's very simple, yet doable. Got a nice little kitchen. So I'm excited. We even have a yard area for the dog. We need to do the lot traits. So we're going to hit randomize 10 times for each lot trait. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And these cannot be changed throughout the challenge. So this lot has great soil, it's a celebrity home, and it's homey. Now also, you need to pick the challenge. Now there happens to be 12 of these. We're going to hit this 10 times again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your game may vary depending on what packs you have. So we have the volcanic activity is our challenge trait. So this is going to definitely be interesting. Before you start your challenge, we need to have them get set up for their professions. Go to the phone, find a job. I'm going to randomly put in, and she is going to be a doctor. Riley also needs to do the same. Same thing again. Riley's profession is also a doctor. Wow, that's going to be interesting. So I'm going to go ahead off camera and make sure the dog has water and a bed, make sure there's enough sleeping areas for everybody, get that all set up so that next episode we can start playing this family. Thank you for joining me today, And I hope that you find this random household challenge as much fun as I find it to be. Now, the important thing to remember is you need to play the Sims, you need to do their whims. So say, we need to pin these right away. And whatever comes up as the third whim is the priority. These will stay like this until I get those accomplished. But each Sim will have these pop up, and you need to keep a watch on that. It's important for the challenge. Please give a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye now.